It's another Saturday morning to give you fresh stories from our national dailies in the country here on Melody 107.7 FM. Good morning, and today is the 11th day in the month of July 2026. I am Oluwadamilola Ologbon, ready to take you through the pages of our national dailies this morning. And remember, I'm live on Facebook at Melody FM 1077. Melody FM 1077. I will be giving you stories from the front cover before diving into details of some of the headlines from the front cover of our national newspapers. However, you can join me live on Facebook at Melody FM 1077. Melody FM 1077. And I've got stories from the Punch newspaper, Vanguard, The Nation, and also the Saturday Tribune newspapers this morning. Starting with the front cover of the Saturday Punch newspaper, which has to do with a good news. It says here, Oyo abduction, inside operation that freed pupils, teachers after 56 days in captivity. Jubilation greets release of abductees. Federal government denies swap deal, vows justice for victims. And underneath there, the last story says, our uncle is never coming home, slain teachers, family says. Still on the front cover, it says, deadly trust, unregulated workforce where domestic workers kill employers. This is also from the front cover of the Saturday Punch. 2027, we will reject any electoral fraud, says Makinde. And still on the 2027 election, Tinubu retains Shetima as parties race to meet INEC deadline. Other stories here says, I begged for life as South African pointed gun at me. This is coming from one of the returnees from South Africa. And lastly here from the entertainment team, it says, my boobs get me noticed. Talent keeps me relevant. This is coming from Diva Gold. And these are stories from the front cover of the Saturday Punch. And a pic from the Saturday Vanguard newspaper's front cover, still the same victory story or good news. It says, finally, Oyo pupils teachers rescued. 9 terrorists killed, 8 arrested. This statement is coming from the federal government as Tinubu celebrates. Makinde thanks all and intrudes over the rescue. These are stories from page 26. Moving forward, it says, still on insecurity. It says, European Union Parliament condemns killing in Middle Belt. This is also from page 25. And moving forward, it says here, PFIPC scandal. Our Senate blocked probe of 1.3 billion naira undefended budget. This is from page 10. Moving forward, it says, campaign against MFF board tickets. This is concerning sport and it's from page 8. Lagos, tankers bring Apapa to standstill. This is also from the front cover of the Saturday Vanguard. 2027, Tinubu retains Shetima as running mate. Delta, why anti-open grazing law failed. And today on all front covers of the newspapers in the country still talks about the good news concerning the returned abducted students and teachers of Oyo State. And on the front cover of Saturday Nation newspaper, the picture of the abductees are on the first page of the Nation newspaper, and underneath it says 8 kidnappers arrested as Oyo pupils teachers regain freedom. Presidency, some bandits neutralized, no ransom, no prisoner swap. Inside security operation that ended captives 56 ordeal. And lastly, it says we are grateful to President. Security agent says freed principal in new video. And this story can be found on page 4 and 5 of the Saturday Nation newspaper. NDLEA arraigns drug baron, 3 Mexican and 6 others. This is from page 2. Troops arrest Chadian woman ferrying drugs, alcohols to terrorists in Borno. This is from page 3 also. And concerning the 2027 election, which we are all drawing on for, it says APC predicts landslide as Tinubu retains Shetima. Party uploads details of presidents and vice presidents and others. This is from page 6. And lastly, it says xenophobia. Last South Africa evacuation flight to bring in 300 Nigerians. 39 more evacuees arrived tonight. This is from page 2. And this is stories from the front cover of the Saturday Nation. And lastly, giving you stories from the front cover of the Saturday Tribune. Joy erupts in Oyo as abducted pupils. Teachers regain freedom 56 days after. The picture is also on the front cover of the Saturday Tribune newspaper. And it says Tinubu commends Governor Makinde and security forces. However, there is a statement from the presidency, and it says, in the course of the rescue operation, 8 of the kidnappers were arrested and are now in DSS custody, while some of them were neutralized. There was no quid pro quo in the rescue, as one of the terrorists, a kingpin that the kidnappers demanded his release, is being prosecuted for his atrocities. Makinde thanks Tinubu. Security agencies mourns the dead. This is from the front cover of the Saturday Tribune newspaper. And 2027 presidency, Shettima survives APC power intrigues. Retained position as Tinubu's running mate, from page 6. APM will reset Nigeria, says national chairman. And this is from page 5. In 2 years, our Marjorie Commission got 22.4 billion naira for roads over of mandate projects. This is from page 4. And lastly, Oyo-Osun boundary clash. I shot Shegun dead, but it was in self-defense, suspected killer admits. And these are stories from the front cover of the Saturday Tribune newspaper this morning. A quick break, and when I come back, I will give you details of some of the headlines being read out to you. However, the major story on all covers of our national newspaper talks about the return of the abducted pupils and teachers of Oyo State.
From the pages of Nigeria's top newspapers to your radio.
It's from the dailies, your early morning companion. Every Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. on Melody 107.7 FM.
Headlines that shape the nation. Stories from the north, south, east, and west. Brought to you fresh and fast.
With expert analysis, sharp opinions, and sound presenters breaking it all down clearly, smartly, and straight to the point.
Politics, business, security, health, society. Nothing escapes the spotlight.
This is your head start into Nigeria's biggest stories of the day. From the dailies, news that talks to you. Only on Melody 107.7 FM, Lagos.
From the dailies on your favorite radio station. Melody 107.7 FM. Stay tuned.
Hey you there, do you know that advertising helps to reach out to potential clients or customers, makes you visible to the globe, helps increase sales and creates massive awareness on what you do, thereby increasing your profits or giving ideal results? And Melody 107.7 FM is calling out to brands, companies, institutions, organizations, businessmen and women to complete adverts with us for visibility and recognition. Melody 107.7 FM is located at number 6 Melody House, Akintoye Street, BRT Bus Stop, Yanopaja, Lagos. Visit us on all social media platforms at Melody FM 1077 or email us at melody1077fm@gmail.com or call our marketing department on 08095111077 08095111077. Stay cool with Melody.
From the dailies on your favorite radio station. Melody 107.7 FM. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. It is still from the dailies on Melody 107.7 FM, and I am Oluwadamilola Ologbon, taking you through the pages of our national dailies this morning. However, I've given you stories from the front cover of some of our newspapers, from Saturday Punch, Saturday Nation newspaper, Saturday Vanguard, and also Saturday Tribune newspaper. Now, moving into the newspapers, I will be starting with Saturday Punch newspaper, and the story there is Oyo abduction inside operation that freed pupils. teachers after 56 days in captivity, which can be found inside the Punch newspaper this morning. Remember, I am live on Facebook at Melody FM 1077. Melody FM 1077. Do well to drop your own contribution and opinion on any of the stories I will be giving you the details this morning. Do well to drop your comments under the live video, or you can call the studio lines, which are 0704 800 1077, 0704 800 1077, or 0906 201 1077, 0906 201 1077. Starting with the first story here, it says, Oyo abduction, inside operation that freed pupils, teachers after 56 days in captivity. And the lead of the story says there was jubilation across the country on Friday as abducted pupils and teachers from Oriwe local government area of Oyo State regained their freedom after spending 56 days in captivity. This came as opposition parties, including the People's Democratic Party, the Allied People's Movement, and the presidential candidate of the African Action Congress in 2023 election, Omoyele Sowore, welcomed the safe release of the victims and called on the federal government to take decisive measures to prevent a recurrence and strengthen security across the country. Also, Senator Ali Ndume described the development as good news and urged the federal government and security agencies to intensify efforts to rescue dozens of people still held by kidnappers in his constituency. This can be found in the pages of the Saturday Punch newspaper this morning concerning the headline once again says, Oyo abduction, inside operation that freed pupils, teachers after 56 days in captivity. More of the story can be found in the pages of the Punch newspaper. Hello? Okay, we lost that call. Do we also call back 0704 800 1077 or 0906 201 1077. Moving forward to another story from the Punch newspaper. It says, our Oyo People's teachers were freed without ransom after 56 days. This is coming from ex-DSS operative and can be found in the pages of the Punch newspaper this morning. Remember, I'm live on Facebook at Melody FM 1077. And the lead of the story says a former operative of the Department of State Services, Sheyi Adetayo, has disclosed how security operatives secured the release of the abducted pupils and teachers in Oyo State after 56 days in captivity without paying ransom or exchanging prisoners. Speaking during an interview with a television station on Friday, Adetayo said that intelligence gathering played a crucial role in locating and mounting pressures on the kidnappers. Adetayo, while explaining the operation, disclosed that security agencies identified the kidnappers' mothers, wives, children, and other close associates as part of the intelligence-led operation to rescue the victims' release. He added that the operatives arrested the relatives, recorded videos of them, and sent footage to the abductors as part of the strategy that ultimately led to the victims' freedom. More of the story can be found in the pages of the Punch newspaper. However, this will raise questions as to how they were able to send videos of these kidnappers' families to the kidnappers. More of the story can be found in the pages of the Punch newspaper this morning. Moving to another issue entirely, lastly from the Punch newspaper, it says 2027, Tinubu retains Shettima as parties race to meet INEC deadline. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Friday formally retained Vice President Kashim Shettima as his running mate for the 2027 presidential election. This was as political parties made last-minute moves to beat the Independent National Electoral Commission's deadline for the submission of presidential and National Assembly candidates. The ruling All Progressive Congress presented the nomination forms for Tinubu and Shetima as its national chairman, Professor Nintawi Yolwatda, in Abuja for onward transmission to INEC, effectively ending months of speculation that President could replace his deputy with a Northern Christian. More of the story can be found in the pages of the Saturday Punch newspaper. And moving forward, the studio lines which you can call in this morning are 0704 800 1077 or 0906 201 1077, 0704 800 1077 or 0906 201 1077. Moving to the Saturday Tribune newspaper, it says Tinubu reacts to rescue of abducted Oyo pupils and teachers. President Bola Tinubu has reacted to the successful rescue of the pupils and teachers abducted from Orire community in Ogbomosho, Oyo State, expressing delight over the operation carried out by security agencies. The president, in a statement on Friday, commended the military, the Department of State Services (DSS), and the Nigerian police force for what he described as their heroic efforts in securing the release of the victims after 56 days in captivity without collateral damage. He also praised the security operatives for arresting 8 of the suspected abductors while neutralizing others during the rescue. Tinubu, however, expressed regret over the trauma endured by the children, their teachers, their families, and the nation during the period of their abduction. More of the story can be found in the pages of the Saturday Tribune newspaper this morning. Moving to another story from the Saturday Tribune newspaper, it says here Makinde crowns new Onitabo of Itabo, presents instruments of office. Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State has formally installed Oba Kehinde Ojedokun as the new Onitabo of Itabo land in the Ibarakwa East local government area. This was as the governor officially presented a new monarch with instruments of office comprising the certificates and staff of office. Moving forward, it says the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Matters, Chief Ademola Ojo, who represented the governor, said the coronation has brought to an end almost 12-year vacancy on the traditional stool. The coronation and installation ceremony was held on Friday, July 10. More of the story can be found in the pages of the Saturday Tribune newspaper. And moving into the Saturday Vanguard newspaper quickly, it says State Police will bring security closer to Nigeria. The statement is coming from the Inspector General of Police, Tunji Disu, who says the State Police will deepen community policing and improve intelligence gathering. Disu told the news agency of Nigeria in New York on Friday that the initiative would boost community-based policing and improve intelligence gathering. He, however, said implementation would involve extensive consultation, comparative studies, and capacity building before the full operationalization. He expressed confidence that the state police would strengthen collaboration between federal and state security institutions. The police chief said closer community engagement would improve intelligence gathering, public trust, and rapid response to security threats. More of the story can be found in the pages of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. abduction, security forces suffered casualties during rescue operation. This statement is coming from military. And the lead of this story says the military on Saturday disclosed that some security personnel suffered casualties during the month-long operation that led to the rescue of 44 pupils and teachers abducted in Orire local government area of Oyo State. The victims were kidnapped on May 15, 2026 and were rescued on July 10 following what the military described as an intelligence-led, carefully coordinated operation involving multiple security and intelligence agencies. The operation was led by General Officer Commanding 2 Division Nigerian Army Ibadan, Major General Nembiefe, in collaboration with Office of the National Security Advisor through the National Counter-Terrorism Center, the Defense Headquarters, Special Forces of the Nigerian Army, Navy and Air Force, the Nigerian Police Force, the Department of State Services, DSS, the National Intelligence Agency, the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Amotekun, local vigilantes and hunters. More of the story can be found in the pages of the Saturday Vanguard newspaper this morning. Lastly, from the Vanguard newspaper, it says here, Tinubu told me he will do everything to secure Nigeria. The statement is coming from Ali Ondume. Senator representing Borno South, Ali Ondume, has revealed that President Bola Tinubu assured him he would do everything within his power to restore security across the country, following a private meeting at the presidential villa. However, moving forward, it says, according to the senator, he spoke candidly about the worsening security situation in the country, particularly in Borno State, and conveyed the concerns of Nigerians living in communities ravaged by insurgent attacks. The lawmaker said he was frank with the president, adding that Tinubu appreciated his honesty. Ondume urged the president to broaden his consultation by regularly engaging respected Nigerians who provide honest advice on governance and national security. More of the story can be found in the pages of the Saturday Vanguard newspaper this morning. Last story from the Nation newspaper, it says how Indian M farmers facilitated kidnappers operation in Ondo State. This is coming from NSCDC boss. And the lead of the story, quickly, it says, since assuming office as Ondo State commandant of the NSCDC,